looked at some problem under trigonometry. Okay, I want to believe you still remember that the last time in the class here we looked at angle of elevation, right, and depression. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at some problems under angle of depression. Okay, so I'm promising you that you are going to have a nice time in today's class. So before we commence the class, I want you to invite your friends, your classmates, tell them the class is about to begin. So share this video with your friends, and if this is the first time you are joining this platform, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, okay, so that whenever we're on here, you will be duly notified, okay. And also, if you find this class interesting, don't forget to give a thumb to the class. All right, so let's wait a little bit for those that will just join us, so we have good number before we commence the class. So while we are doing that, while we are inviting our friends, I'm going to be putting the question we are going to be starting with on the board. So please just ensure that you share this video, invite your friends, tell them the class has started. All right, you are welcome to class. I want to believe you have get in touch with your classmates. So we are going to continue from where we stopped the last time. Okay, all right. So now this topic is an important topic that every one of us must know. If you're in SS1, SS2, and SS3. So this topic is treated in SS1. You are going to be doing this in SS1. By the time you get to SS2, you are still going to be taught. And SS3, you will just be doing the revision because it's a topic that often comes out in Waec and Neco, right? And also, if you are writing SAT examination or Cambridge, so this class will also be helpful for you. So I want you to get your writing materials ready for today's class. So I want you to get your four-figure table if you have one, and if not, get your calculator, because you are going to be doing some work for me today. All right. So yes, we can commence now. Yes, we can commence. Okay. All right. So let me see those that are available here. All right. I can see Uncle J. I can see yes, Surajat. I can see Oluwatosin. Yes. Okay. You're all welcome to class. Okay. I can also see Olawale Gabriel. Shomide. I can see Shomide. All right. You're all welcome to class. Now let's begin the class. As you join the class, don't forget to give a thumb to the class. All right. So now let's look at the first question we have here. Now, this question is under angle of depression. Now, this is the question. The angle of depression of a point X on the ground from the top of a hill is 61 degrees, 48 minutes. Okay, it should be 48 minutes. Now, see what we have here. Now, if the distance of the point from the hill is 35 meters, calculate the height of the hill. Okay, so we are talking about angle of elevation. Let me quickly remind you what we discussed in the last class. Now, if you have an observer here at the top, it needs to look at something that is on the ground. Now, this is the observer looking straight. Now, if he needs to look at something on the ground below, he needs to turn his head by a particular angle. Now, if he turns his head, he's going to turn it by a particular angle. That angle that this head turns is what we call the angle of depression. Okay, so this is where we have angle of depression. But if we have an observer here looking at the top of a tree, now the observer first looks straight, then now raise his head up to look at what we have at the top. So the observer is going to elevate his head up. So the angle here is what we call the angle of elevation. Okay, angle of elevation. We discussed this in the last class. Okay, so angle of elevation, angle of depression. So we have angle of depression when the observer is at the top doing something below. We have angle of elevation when we have an observer below doing something at the top. Hope you understand that. Now let us now look at the question we have here. So how do we solve this problem? All right, so let's see. Suppose we have an horizontal ground this way. Now the question says the angle of depression of a point X on the ground, on this ground. That means we have a point on this ground. Let's call it X, point X. According to the question, point X from the top of a hill is 61 degrees 48 minutes. So it means we have a hill here which is right angle to the ground. Okay, now this is what we have. This is the top of the hill. Okay, so the observer is here. So the observer will first look straight, then turn his head by an angle of depression 61 degrees 48 minutes. So we have it this way. So this is the observer here looking at this. He has turned his head by an angle of 61 degrees 48 minutes. Okay. Now, the first thing now is to express this minutes in degrees. So how do we do this? So 61 degrees 48 minutes is the same thing as 61 degrees plus 48 over 60 degrees. So whenever you want to convert minutes to degree, so you just divide the minutes by 60. Okay, so once you divide the minutes by 60, so you have degree. Okay, so now this is going to give you 61 degree plus. Now when you divide that, what do you have? 84 divided by 60. All right, you have 0.8. So that's going to give you 0.8 degrees. So when you add together, that is 61.8 degrees. So that means the angle we have here is the same thing as what? 61.8 degrees. Now, this angle is alternate to this angle. The angle here is alternate to this. So this angle is 61.8 degrees. And don't forget, we have been given the height of the hill. Now, if the distance of we want to get the height. Yes, we have to calculate the height. So we don't know the height. This is the height of the hill. So, but the question says if the distance of the point, this point from the hill is 35 meters. So the distance between this and this is 35 meters. Okay, you have to calculate the height of the hill. Hope you understand that. Okay, so now this is a right angle triangle here. So you connect this and this. This is your opposite and this is your adjacent. Don't forget what we said the last time is the adjacent side is the line that touches the reference angle and right angle. So this is adjacent, this opposite. Hypotenuse is the side that faces the right angle. All right, so now let's quickly recall our SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So which one are we going to make use of? Now it's going to be tan. So opposite and adjacent. So we have tan 61.8 equals to opposite, which is the height, over adjacent, that's 35. So we cross multiply, we have h equals to 35 times tan 61.8 degrees. So the height will be 35 times. Now, can you check this one in your four-figure table? What is tan 61.8? Or you punch that on your calculator, tan 61.8. Now do that and drop your answer in the comment section. Let me check now. Tan 61.8. So what do you have? All right, I can see Oluwatosin has given an answer. That's 1.8649. Okay. Is there anyone with a different answer from that? $1.8649. Another 1.865. Okay, that's Uncle J. Yes. All right. That's good, Uncle J. All right. You are welcome, Kurudu. I think I can see you. So that you are Kurudu. Okay. Anike, I can see you. All right. Now, when you check very well or you make use of your calculator, now you will see that you have 1.8650. Okay, so that's what we're going to have. 1.8650. 8650. So you just correct to 4dp. Is that taken? So you can check your 4-figure table. If you want to make use of your calculator, just press tan and you enter 61.8. So you have this. So now let's multiply. What do we have? 35 times 1.865. What do you have? You have the height to be 65.275 meters. So you convert to the nearest 1 dp. So that's going to give you 65.3 meters. Okay, 0.3 meters. So that's going to be the answer to the problem. All right. So I want to believe we all understand this. Okay, so now let us look at another question. All right, don't forget, if you are just joining this platform, ensure you subscribe to this channel so that whenever we're on here, you will be notified. And also, if this class is impactful, don't also forget to give a thumb to the class. And let's look at another question. Angles of depression of two canoes are 61 degrees and 73 degrees. So that's about click. All right, okay. It's a very lengthy one. So let's look at the question we have here. So the angles of depression of two canoes are 61 degrees and 73 degrees from the top of a vertical cliff. Now, the foot of which is on the same straight line as two canoes, A and B. So if the cliff is 18-meter high, calculate the distance between the two canoes. All right, so how do we answer this question? The first thing is to draw the diagram. So let's first start with the horizontal line, which is the ground level. Okay, so we have a cliff. We have a cliff here, which is at right angle to the horizontal. This is the top of the cliff. We have the observer here at the top. So whenever they are talking about angle of depression, the observer will always be at the top, viewing something on ground. So we have 2 points on the ground. They are point A and point B. Point A and point B. Now let's look at it. The observer have an initial view looking straight. So the first one, the observer needs to look at this point here. All right. So now, okay, let's say A, the first point here. So at what angle of depression? 61 degrees. All right. So we have it this way. So the observer must have turned his head by 61 degrees. So that's the first one. The observer is looking at the first canoe, canoe A. He turns his head by 61 degrees. Now, it's also viewing the second canoe at what angle? 73 degrees. So it moves down, it's viewing this. So that angle is this. That is 73 degrees. So we now have two angles of depression. Now, this angle here, 61, is alternate to this. So this place is going to be 61 degrees. And this bigger angle of depression is alternate to this. So this angle here at B is 73 degrees. Okay, what information are we giving? Again, now if the cliff is 18 meter high, so the cliff, this is the cliff, it's 18 meter high. Now what is the question? The question asks you to calculate the distance between the two canoes. So we want to get this distance. The distance between this and this. That's what we want to get. Okay, so how do we answer this question? Now the first thing now is to get this angle. Let's call this place C and call this place D. Now BD, we can represent it with X. All right, so now let's consider this triangle CBD. CBD. So we write in triangle CBD. Now when you look at triangle CBD, this is your opposite, this is your adjacent, and this is your hypotenuse. This side here is the hypotenuse. All right, so now making use of your SOHCAHTOA. So which trigonometrical function are we going to use? That's going to be tan, where we have opposite and adjacent. This is the opposite and this is the adjacent. So we connect this and this. So we have tan 73 degrees equals to opposite. Opposite is what? 18 over adjacent is what? X. All right. So here you can cross multiply. We have X tan 73 degrees equals to 18, sorry, that's 18. So X is what? Tan 73 degrees over, okay, what is it going to give us? Okay, that's you just divide both sides by tan 73 degrees. That's 18 over tan 73 degrees. Okay, so I hope you understand that. Okay, so you divide both sides by tan 73. So that's the value. This is the value of X. So the distance here is 18 over tan 73 degrees. Now, let's see what is going to be the value of tan 73 degrees. Can you tell me what that one will give you? What is tan 73 degrees? So do that and drop your answer in the comment section. Let's see. What do you have? You can make use of your four-figure table or your calculator. Just press tan 73 degrees. Okay. So let's see. What do you have as tan 73 degrees? Anyone with the answer? Yes. Okay, Omolara. All right. Okay. Tan 73 degrees. Okay. Is there another person? Okay, I can see Uncle J. You have 0.3057. Yes. Any other person? Okay, I can also see Omolara 3.2708. Yes, Uncle J. Okay. I think this now Uncle J's results. 3.271. Yes, Bola 3.271. Yes, and Grace, that's Esther. Okay, Esther 3.271. Yes. Okay, okay. I can see that, Uncle J. I can see you corrected that. That's a mistake. Yeah, no problem. So who else? Okay. Noibat 3.271. Okay, so I can all see our answers. Yes. So so we are correct. So we have 3.271. So that is what we have. So you can either check your four-figure table or you make use of your calculator. So now when you divide now, what do you have now? So you may be faster than me. You drop your answer in the comment section. Let's see. So what do you have? What's going to be the value of x? X is what? 5.503. 5.503. Okay, so and that is going to be in what? In meters. So here is 5.503 meters. Okay, so that is that. But what we want to get now is length AB, the distance between the two canoes. Okay, so now we now consider the bigger triangle now, triangle CAD. 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 All right, triangle CAD. In triangle CAD, triangle CAD, look at it. CAD, CAD. So look at this triangle here. This is opposite, this adjacent. AD is adjacent, while AC is the hypotenuse. So if you have to solve this, we have the opposites and we also have something at the adjacent here. Okay, so now let's connect the adjacent and opposite together. We are making use of tan again. So we have tan. Now this is the reference angle for this bigger triangle. So tan 61 degrees equals to opposite. Opposite is 18 over adjacent. Adjacent is AD. Can you see length AD from here to here? Okay, length AD. Good. So here you can cross multiply. So you have AD tan 61 degrees equals to 18. So here you can divide both sides by tan 61. So you have AD equals to 18 over tan 61. So, and that gives you 18 over, what is tan 61? Yes, the fastest finger. What is tan 81? 61. Tan 61 is what? Yes, okay, I can see. Omolara, that's good. Uncle J, Bolaon. I can see Olawale Gabriel. Yes, okay. That's good. That's good. So we have 1.804. 1.804. Yes, 1.804 is the correct answer. 1.804. Okay, so AD gives us what? So let's divide this. When you divide, what do you have? 18 divided by 1.804. So what do you have when you divide? So you'll be having what? That's 9.978. 9.978 meters. Okay, so that's what you have. All right, now don't forget, AD is AB plus BD. BD is the same thing as X. So we have AD, length AD equals to length AB plus length BD. BD is the same thing as X. So now AD has been gotten as 9.978 equals to AD, that is what we are looking for, the distance between the two canoes, plus BD. BD is 5.503. Okay, 503. So now we subtract 5.503 from both sides. We have 9.978 minus 5.503. That is the same thing as AB. So therefore, what is going to be the value of AB? The distance between the two canoes. Okay, can you do that? Let's see. What do you have as your answer? So 9.978 minus 5.503. Okay, so what do you have as your answer before I drop mine? Let's see. Yes. What is the answer? The difference between 9.978 and 5.503. Yes, anyone with the answer? Okay. Yes, Omolara, I can see your answer. Yes, 4.475. Do you all agree with our answer? So you can drop yours. Let's see if what she gave is correct. Any other person? Where is Gabriel? Where is Uncle J? Where is Riscott? Okay, I can see Bolaon's results. Okay. Nabila, I can see your results. That's very good. Yes, this is Gabriel. I can see Gabriel's results. Okay, Uncle J. Yes, Uncle J, drop your answer. You are just saying hi. Yes, what do you have? Okay, Riscott, I can see Riscott's answer. So it seems everyone is getting the same results. So, so we are so lucky. Now that answer is correct. So the answer to this problem is 4.475 meters. Okay, so this is going to be the answer. So 4.475 meters is the distance between the two canoes. Hope you understand that. So I want to stress something before we move to the next thing. You see, when answering questions like this, for those of you that will be writing Waec and Neco, there are certain things students you just overlook, and they just begin to wonder why is it that they don't have A's in mathematics. Now, when a question like this is given, the most important thing is your diagram. Once you score 0 in your diagram, because there's always mark awarded to diagram. Once you score 0 in the diagram, even if all these solutions, what you have here is correct, you'll be given 0. Because you need this diagram to be correct to solve all of this. So once it is wrong, you have scored 0. So you are not expected to have any positive results. Now, let me tell you the key place you need to pay more attention to. Now, the first thing is these broken lines. The observer is always at the top. Don't just come here and put 61. No. This implies this. So you must first get this angle here. The angle at which the observer bends his head. Okay. You must get it up here. And you must also get this one as well. So this angle here is alternate to this. So we got this before getting this. And the same thing also applies to this. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to take note of. If it is not there, I just write 61 and 73, so you are going to be losing points. Another thing you need to pay attention to is this angle. We have a right angle, because your trigonometrical ratio is based on a right angle triangle. So if you are solving a problem on a triangle that is not a right angle triangle, so that means you cannot be using a trig ratio. So it must be a right angle triangle. So it must be specified in the diagram. So let us take note of it, because there's always mark awarded to all of these things. So always remember to show, and the side that is given, there's always a mark. So if you fail to put all of this, you'll be losing points. And you know, if you lose all the points, so it means there will not be mark, and that will be so bad. All right, so that is that. Now let's move down to the next question I have for you today. So if you are just joining this platform for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you have not given this class a thumb, ensure you do that if this class is impactful. All right. Okay, so now let's move down to the next question. Okay. Okay, so this another question is a very simple question. So can I give you 1 minute to attempt the question before we do it together? So look at the question. It's just a replica of what we just did now. So try it, and if you're able to finish in time, so you can drop your answer in the comments section. So an observer on the top of a tower, which is 25-meter high, viewed the angle of depression of a point on the ground level 36 meters from the base is theta. You have to find theta. So that is the question. Okay, so let's quickly try this. All right, so now while you are doing that, if you have not been to this class before, you have not joined this class before, this is your first time, so at your free time, you can go through the videos we have done under trigonometry, you've done a lot of classes. So look for the live classes so you can always go through those classes. It's going to be helpful to you. All right. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any answer here before we solve the problem together? So you just have like few seconds to do this. Okay, so if you have done it, you have your answer, you can drop it in the comment section. Okay, I can now see Huba. I think it's just joining. I've not seen him since morning. Okay, Folashade, it's been a while on the platform. You're welcome to class. Okay, so hope you are attempting that problem. Okay. Anyone with the answer? Okay, so now let's solve the problem together. So while we are doing that, once we are done, you can verify, you can check with what you have there. Okay, so now let's look at the question. Now the question says an observer on the top of a tower. So that means we have a tower where an observer is sitting or standing. All right, so let's draw the tower. This is the tower. The tower is perpendicular to the horizontal ground. Always remember to put the right angle. So this is the observer. Now let's call this O. The observer is here. An observer on the top of a tower 25-meter high. Now this tower is what? 25 meters high. View the angle of depression of a point on the ground level. So there is a point on the ground level which this observer is viewing. Okay, he views these points on the ground level. Now let's call that point P. Now he must have turned his head by a particular angle which is given here to be theta. We don't know that now. Which is now 36 meter from the base of 36 meter from the base. That is, the point is 36 meter from the base of the tower. Now this is the base of the tower. Now let's call the base B. So the distance between these points and the base of the tower is 36 meters. I want to believe we all understand that. Now I take that again. So we look at it. Now an observer on the top of a tower 25 meter high. 25 meter high. This is the tower 25 meter high. View the angle of depression of a point P here on the ground level. And what's the distance? 36 meter from the what? From the base. is what? Theta. So we have it here. Now this theta here is alternate to this angle. So theta here is alternate here. So that means this place is going to be theta as well. So the question wants us to find theta. So how do we do this? We have the opposite, we have the adjacent. So we are making use of your toa, that's tan. You know, we have your SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So we are making use of opposite and adjacent. So let's plug that in. We have tan theta equals to opposite over adjacent. That's 36. So you divide that. So when you divide, what do you have? I want you to drop your answer as well. What do you have? 25 over 36. 25 over 36. So you have 0.6944. Okay, is that what you have? All right, okay, 6944. So now the next thing now is to find the arctan of what we have here. Okay, you are looking for theta. So it's just like you are moving this theta to this side. Once it comes here, it becomes inverse. So arctan 6944. Okay, so what do we have now? Arctan of is 0.6944. So you can punch your calculator and get this for me, or you make use of your four-figure table. What's going to be arctan of 0.6944? Okay, can you check that and drop your answer in the comment section? Yes. Okay. Arctan of 0.6944. Yes. Okay, I can see Riscott's results. Okay, you are the first person to drop answer this time around. Yes, Molara, that's 34.7761. Yes, any other person? Okay, is this part here? Okay, 34.9. Yes, is anybody with another answer different from what we have here? Okay, make sure you drop your answer. Yes, okay, Folashade, I'm seeing you for the first time. The other time I saw you, you were just greeting us. Okay, so we have 34.77. All right. Okay, so others should drop their answer. All right, so let me check here. Arctan. So now, for those of you that do not know how to make use of the calculator to do this, so you just press Shift on your calculator. Shift. You have it at this corner here. Press Shift and press tan. After doing that, you now punch this number. That's 0.6944. Okay, so you have 34.78 degrees. So that is what we have, 34.78 degrees. So that is going to be the angle of depression. Angle of depression. So that is the answer to the problem. All right, so I want to believe we all understand this. So now we are moving to another wonderful question that looks like this. So let's wait for the question. Let me write it. 2 versus x and y. All right, okay, so this is another question. All right, if you are just joining this class, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you click on the subscription button, and ensure you like this video. Okay, all right, now let's look at this question. Now, two vessels X and Y are 110 meters and 130 meters away from the base of a cliff respectively. Now calculate the angles of depression of the vessels from top of the cliff 50-meter high. Do you understand that? Now let us draw the horizontal ground. That's the first thing to do. This is the horizontal ground. Okay, so we have a cliff. A cliff is right angle to the horizontal ground. Now let's look at it now. Two vessels X and Y are 110 and 130 away from the base of a cliff respectively. Now let's look at it. This is for X and this is for Y. The distance of X from this base, let's call it B, is 110. The distance of Y from this base is 130. Now look at it. Which one should come first? Is it X or Y? Yes, let me ask you, drop the, your answer in the comment section. Which one should be here? We have this point and this point. Which point should come first? Which point should come first? Is it this one or this? Which point should be here? Is it point X or point Y here with what we have here? Okay, so let me see if you are very smart enough to get that. I know you can do that. So what point will come first? What point will come first? Is it point X or point Y? Okay, I can see. Okay, okay, Bola said Y. X and now that point that I start, what will be there? You know, we have 2 points now. So the first point that I start, what should be there? What do you think should be there? All right, okay, I can see X. Yes, X should come first. Okay, X should come first. Korodo, X should come first. All right, please make sure you don't follow the crowd though. Okay, so make sure you give your answer. Let me see before I now give my own final answer. Yes. Okay, Gbolahan said first is Y and X should be next. Okay. All right. Okay, okay. Oluwatosin, what is your own answer? You are just greeting us. What's going to be your answer? Yes. Okay, okay. So because of time, let's see. Let's see. I think somebody has given the reason why X should come first. Why? Now, X is a point here, and you can see the distance between X and B is smaller compared to Y. So this one couldn't have been Y, because if you call this one Y, that means this one will be X. And don't forget, this is far away from this, from B, than this. So that means this point that I start here should be X, which is the closest to the base of the cliff. So this is going to be the X, all right? And this is going to be Y. So the distance between this is what? This is, okay, let's just write here. Now this is 110 meters. So, but from here, down to this place is going to be what? 130 meters. I think there is sense in this. So this is 130. From here to here is 110. All right. So thank you. Put your hands together for yourself. That means you are very smart. I know that you are going to get that. Okay. So now let's go through the question again. Two vessels, X and Y, are 110 meters and 130 away from the base of a cliff, okay, respectively. Now, calculate the angle of depression of the vessels, that is the points X and Y, from top of the cliff, which is what? 50 meters. So this is the cliff here. The cliff is 50 meters. That's the height of the cliff. So now we have this. This is the initial view. Don't forget, we are talking about angle of depression. So now the observer will bend the head by an angle. Let's call this angle theta. And then bend again. Now this is going to be, let's call this one alpha. So now this angle here is alternate to this. So this is going to be theta, and this one is going to be alpha. So this is going to be alpha. So it's so obvious now that this angle here, alpha, will be bigger than theta. Okay. We have to get these angles, these two angles. That's what the question wants us to get. We have to calculate the angles of depression of the vessels from the top of the cliff. All right, so let's look at this angle. Let's call this place T. So we can look at triangle TXB, TXB, right? In triangle TXB. Look at this triangle. This is the opposite, this adjacent, and this hypotenuse. XT is the hypotenuse. So I'm going to be making use of TOA, opposite over adjacent. So I have tan alpha equals to opposite, that's 50, over adjacent, that's 110. All right. So now this tan comes here, becomes arctan. So we have x equals to arctan of 5 over 11. So what is 5 over 11? 5 over 11. So let's divide that for 50 over 110. So 5 over 11. So that gives you 0.4545. Right, so that's what we have. So what's going to be the arctan of the 0.4545? Yes. Can you give us what would that be? So arctan of 0.4545. So who is giving us the answer? Okay, yes. All right, so is anyone giving us the answer to this? Okay, you are welcome. Mifa Mobile, you are welcome to the class. All right, okay. So I can see 24.442. Yes, another person. Yes, I have 24.44. Yes, rescorts 24.4417. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's look at it. I can see our answers. So you have 24.44. 24.44 degrees. Don't forget, we are talking about angle. So you have this. So 24.44 degrees. So now don't forget, the question asks you, give your answer to the nearest degree. So what's going to be the nearest degree of this? So what's going to be the answer? Yes, I want you to quickly drop that. What's going to be the answer to the nearest degree? Yes, that should not wait, take time. So what is the nearest degree? Yes, okay, I can see that. Yes, semi-starfish, that is 24 degrees. That's good. Yes, 24 degrees to the nearest degrees. Okay. All right. I can see Uncle J. Yes. Uncle J. Where's the scored results? All right. So the answer is going to be 24 degrees. That is correct. 24 degrees. So this is the answer to the problem. You understand? So you see, this is whole number. What we have here is decimal number. Okay, so now you just need to pick this one and throw the decimal part away. But before you throw it away, you have to check if this is up to 5. If it's up to 5, you turn it to 1, you increase this 4 by 1. Okay, so but since it's not up to 5, so you have to truncate the numbers after the decimal point. So this is the answer to that. So now let's look at the second part of the question. Okay, so I don't know, maybe some of you have been making an attempt now. What is going to be angle theta? Can I give you a few minutes, maybe a minute, to quickly attend to that? It's just a replica of what we just did now. Okay, can we try that? Let's try that and give me the answer. I want to see if we can have someone that can do it in a very short time. What is going to be the angle theta? Angle theta, before we solve the problem together. And please don't forget, if you are just joining this class for the first time, all right, so ensure you subscribe to this channel if you love what we are doing here, so that you'll be notified whenever we're on here. And don't forget to give the thumb to the class. All right, okay, so let's see. Anyone with the answer, what is angle theta? Angle theta, we have to get angle theta correct to the nearest whole number. Yes, angle theta correct to the nearest whole number. Okay. Yes, anyone? Okay. So if you have your answer, you can drop in the comment section. Let me see before we do it together. Okay, Balaon have a result. I can see 21.03. Yes. Yes. Semi-starfish. Okay. Am I correct? Okay. I can see 21 degrees. All right. Okay. So let's see. Let's solve the problem together and see whether what we have there is correct. Okay. Now, we want to get this angle here. That is the angle of depression that we have here. So we are considering triangle TBY. In triangle TBY. What is the opposite? What is the adjacent? And what is the hypotenuse? Now look here. TB is the opposite. Now BY is the adjacent, considering this bigger triangle, and YT is the hypotenuse. All right, so we can link the two together. Now say we have opposite here and we have adjacent here. So our adjacent is 130. This is opposite. So we are making use of tan theta equals to opposite. That's 50 over 130. Okay, so that is tan theta will be, what is 50 over 130? 50 over 130, that gives us what? That is 0.3846. Okay, so you find arctan of this. So we have theta equals to arctan of 0.3846. So now what is arctan of 0.3846? So can you drop your answer in the comment section? Let's see what you have. Oh, all right. What do you have as the answer there? Yes. What do you have? What do you have as answer? All right, I can see. Okay. Semester fish. Yes, I can see your answer rounded up to 21 degrees. Okay. Yes, Uncle J has given his result. Okay, I can see Folashade. Okay. Okay. Jamiu Bello. Yes, what's your answer? Folashade, have you given an answer before now? No. Okay, what's your own result? Folashade. Yes. What do you have? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now because of our time, the answer we have there is going to be 21.04. So that is what we have degrees. So, but the question asks us to find the angle to the nearest degrees. So the nearest degree means to the nearest whole number. So we are writing this, the whole number. So, and we throw this away. Since the next digit is not up to 5, so we have theta to be equals to 21 degrees. So this is going to be the answer to the problem. All right, so I want to believe we've learned one or two things because we are going to be stopping here today. So I just want you to know that I really enjoyed your participation in today's class. You actually made my day. That's very lovely. And I want you to keep it up by trying one or two questions. And if you want me to treat a particular topic, I want you to drop it in the comment section. So probably in the next class, we can consider the topic. If there's any topic you want me to treat with you online, so let me know. So we're going to be treating it. Okay. So we are ending now. So I want to tell every one of you that I love you guys. So keep solving and don't relent. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.